Hi, and welcome to MHA Foundation. I am Jennifer Smith, and I'm here with Evan today. Evan is with Wheel Fun, and we were able to do a project with Evan's group locally here in Payson. So, Evan, tell us all about Wheel Fun.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me, first
Uh-huh.
of all. So, Wheel Fun is basically an Arizona nonprofit. And so, right now, we are in 41 bike clubs or 41 schools throughout the state.
41. Wow. So you must have pretty solid geographic coverage.
We are basically all the way up in Colorado City, right on the border, and all the way down to Benson and Huachuca City.
That is fantastic. Wow. So what is the mission of Wheel Fun?
Yeah, so the mission of Wheel Fun is basically just to support the mental states, the social states, and the physical states of our student population.
That is so fantastic. And you execute that mission by?
Well, we do that through the bicycle, right?
Uh-huh.
The bicycle is just the tool,
Yeah.
essentially, but through these after school bike clubs, we bring together the whole community, right? There's teachers involved, there's lawyers, local firefighters who coach at these schools.
Yeah.
And through that community organization, basically everyone starts connecting and spending time outside,
Right.
exercising together.
Yeah.
And so it's really kind of caught on. And we've seen that when I started with this program, we had 4 bike clubs.
Wow.
And yeah, I was just a volunteer coach helping out. And over the past 4 years, we're at 41 right now.
41 in 4 years. That is really impressive. So what kind of results are you seeing as a function of the outcome of the projects that you do? Because there's tangible projects that you work on,
Sure.
like the one in Payson, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But what are you seeing as the outcomes?
I would say there's 3 main pillars of what we see. And so we can talk about the social states of the students, right? So, the big word that will continue to come up in this podcast is just the community,
Yeah.
right? So we do questionnaires with our students at the start and end of the program. And basically 94% of those students report that they make an extra effort to come to school on
Really?
days that that club exists.
That's fantastic.
So they love coming to school.
Yeah.
And I see them connect, right? On the first day of bike club, it's kind of a little awkward, like the kids don't know each other and they're feeling things out. And then by the last day, the kids are calling each other to ride, outside of school. They're connecting, and it's like a total team.
Do they have to have any sort of skills to go into this club, or can they come in as just a rote newbie?
You can come in pretty green.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do recommend having a baseline of being able to ride a bike, but believe me, we've taken in kids who we've brought through that process, and we get them to the point where we can take them out on trails.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's definitely an introductory program, to be clear. So we're not here to make the next mountain bike champion.
Sure.
We're just here to give them opportunities.
That's outstanding. I know that, social determinants of health are incredibly important in our overall wellness as people. And, post-COVID, we saw and are seeing so many mental health issues as a result of people being isolated, kids and, the full spectrum of ages, adults, kids, seniors. And so I think this is fantastic. So I know you mentioned your clubs, but you also participate. Do you participate in other projects as well, like tangible projects for the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure we'll dive into it, but the bike parks
Yeah.
are another big pillar of Wheel Fun.
Oh, okay.
So we have built 3 bike parks so far in the Verde Valley, and our 4th is just about to finish.
Okay.
And so that's right here in Payson.
So ours in Payson is your 4th one.
It's the 4th one,
That's awesome.
right? Yeah, and we actually have a 5th and pre-design phase too. So I'm sure we'll dive into the Payson Bike Park.
Well, let's
for
go
sure.
ahead and do that.
Okay.
Just let us
Okay.
know. Talk to us. Tell us all about it.
Okay. Well, the bike park here was truly a community effort once again. We've had so many key players in this. And so from a local business sponsorship point, the MHA Foundation gave an incredible donation that went towards the permits and the planning for this. So that was a huge step.
Yeah, sometimes planning grants are a little bit hard to come by. But we, again, when you talk about community, we knew the community members that were playing in this project, and a lot of people who just are very vested in the community were a part of it, and some very big partners as well were already committed to it. So it was an honor for us as the MHA board to be able to help sponsor some of the design and permitting costs.
Right.
For the project.
Well, we can't thank you enough. And as you see, everyone kind of has their own specialty with this. And it's really fun to see the puzzle pieces come together through the local businesses.
So what's the status of the bike park right now?
The bike park is almost complete.
Yeah.
Right? It is almost there. So we are just waiting, I would say, 2 to 3 more weeks.
Okay.
And we'll be there.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
So will you guys be starting a club then? I know we have a Davos club already, the Outdoor Adventure Club, and I'm sure they'll be participating because he's a big biker himself. So is that going to start this year, next year, this summer? What are you aware of as far as programming for the park?
As far as the park goes, I mean, it's going to be primarily for the Payson Adventure Club, right? But it is also going to be able to be open to the public, as you know.
Yeah.
So that's what we love about these parks, is that it's not just for the students.
Right.
What we see in the Verde Valley is that the local community gets involved, and families are riding it.
Yeah.
It's really for everyone.
Yeah.
And for example, just this week in the Verde Valley, we had 55 volunteers show up for our bike park maintenance day.
That's fantastic.
Right.
One of the things that I've heard it since I was in high school here. And I'm sure this is the refrain that's heard probably in small towns all across not only our state, but our country. There's not enough for kids to do.
Totally.
And so this is one of those really big assets that's not going to go away. It's ideally a permanent fixture that is for the kids.
It is definitely a permanent fixture. It does require some love, but that's the fun part,
Yeah.
right? It can be a fun thing to maintain it and keep it going.
Well, and when the community does that, then there's buy-in and the sense of ownership for it too.
Well, I think when the people ride it, for that first time, they'll know. They want to be a part of it.
So on a scale of difficulty, I guess, where would this one fall in? Is it sort of at a beginner level, intermediate? Where?
I would say it's in the intermediate level.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? Which is kind of where you want to be. You don't want to be just stuck in that beginner level, because bike parks are all about progression.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You can start as a first timer at a bike park and find something fun to ride, but then what's great about it is that there's always that next step.
Yeah.
And you can do that safely at a bike park. You can kind of take that small step one at a time.
So as a person who doesn't mountain bike, help me understand. So a bike park is going to train you to use the trails out in the wilderness. Is that sort of the thought?
Well, both.
Okay.
That's a great question, actually. And I'm actually a professional mountain bike coach.
Okay.
That's my other hat. So I can answer this question with confidence.
Yeah.
But so you have trails, but you also have actual lift access bike parks.
Okay.
And so some of the features that you'll see at this park will be more specific to actual bike parks, such as jumps, tabletops, drops, things like that, where those are really, you're not going to see those out in the woods.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that would be bike park specific.
Okay.
But then there's other things that you can learn here that you will see out in nature, such as how to corner better, how to pump and flow through rollers and berms.
Okay. Yeah.
So you may or may not know that terminology.
I don't. I'm just smiling through it.
That's okay. Well, there's things to learn for trail and off trail
Sure.
at bike park.
That's
Both.
awesome. I know we have a huge community here who is very passionate about also working on our Highline Trail system as well, and getting that ready to be one of the larger single track trails in the nation, as far as I'm understanding.
That is super exciting.
Yeah.
And I think that having this bike park now this is really an exciting time for Payson to
great.
kind of keep this momentum going.
Yeah.
And I think, there are towns that become mountain bike destinations,
Sure.
and they get a lot of tourism just because of it. I live in Sedona, and that is very much the case.
Yeah.
We became a mountain bike town.
So, Evan, we talked about the first pillar being social. What are the other two pillars that Wheel Fun focuses on?
Sure. So the second pillar would be just mental health in general. And so, I coach at 2 schools in the Verde Valley. And what I love to hear, teachers come up to me and they say, hey, Johnny, he's normally my trouble student, but he has been super focused this semester.
Wow.
I don't know what you guys are doing, but it is really helping out in the classroom.
That is fantastic. I know, especially for children with ADHD, the use of the large muscle groups on both sides of the body, and when you pair that with the use of the large muscle groups on the top and the bottom at the same time, that actually has a physiological impact in the brain to help them be able to better overcome those challenges that they have. So it's a real documented science thing.
You are correct. It's the data, right?
Yes.
And the data with cycling is also just evolving and coming out as well, and it really does improve your focus.
Yeah.
And it's showing up in the classroom.
Outstanding.
So that's great.
Fantastic.
And then, so the third pillar that we need to discuss is just the physical aspects. And that's easy to talk about, right?
Sure.
Because, we have some students who might be overnourished, as you might say, and you see them lose weight throughout the semester.
Yeah.
Right? Their physical fitness improves. They become stronger riders, right? And there's easy ways to tell that, right? How long does it take you to ride this trail?
Sure.
And whatnot.
Yeah, there's tangible outcomes there that they can actually see.
Right.
And I bet I can only imagine too that their confidence, not only from physically feeling more confident, but also having a group. I'm a part of this. That's a big, big thing for development, for kids to be able to say, this is who I am. I am a cyclist. I am a part of this club.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
You're exactly right. I mean, it's a metaphor for life, right? I can do hard things now on the bike.
Yes.
Well, guess what? I can now do it in school.
Yes.
I can now do it at home with my parents.
Right.
So yeah, that's why we do what we do.
I love it. That is so fantastic. Thank you. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention before we close?
Well, I would just be remiss not to mention our 2 big sponsors to get the bike park pushed through. And that would be Trek Trail, so Trek Bicycles.
Yeah.
They have sponsored all of our bike parks up to this point.
Oh, wow.
So it's been incredible to have their support. And then also Arizona Complete Health.
Okay.
And so Anthony Mancini has been just a game changer for us in helping us get funding for our parks and basically also our bike club programs, and we can't thank them enough. So
Absolutely. Also, same thing from the Payson community. We appreciate the assistance and the passion of these folks to be able to come into communities that they don't even know and be a part of it. So thank you very much, Evan. It's great to have you, and I hope that we get to see you, and I'm looking forward to the grand opening.
me too. So I'll see you there.
Yes.